Good morning, folks. This is Jen Espinosa-Goswami joining you live from my page, Be Weightless. If you haven't liked this page yet and you're watching this, make sure to like this page so you can see more amazing videos like this. So as I'm preparing to present my most amazing, fun presentation, which is called Release Your Inner Wonder Woman, I thought I would share one tidbit from this presentation. And I've done this for various organizations around the Twin Cities. If you're interested in learning how I can present this to your group, your association, or your girlfriends, what have you, I'd love to have a conversation with you. So comment below this video if you want to learn more about how I can present this to you. The thing I'm talking about today is how do you be like Wonder Woman? And many of you have seen Wonder Woman, which was, I believe, the highest selling movie of the past year. And Wonder Woman is an amazing character. She's iconic, mostly because she's one of the most enduring female superhero characters. She's been around for 76 years, and she's just an amazing woman. She's amazingly strong. She's amazingly beautiful. And her mission is to help people rehabilitate and become less of a bad guy and more of a good guy. So who cannot fall in love with Wonder Woman? Even boys are falling in love with Wonder Woman because she's a strong female character, right? And we all can acknowledge that we have strong female characters in our own lives. My door just magically opened because my dog came in. So that was not magic and that was not a ghost, in case you're wondering. By the way, if you're watching this video, please say hi to me or comment below and let me know who is your female role model in your life. Those of you who know me know that my grandmother was a big role model in my life, and when she passed away, that gave me the incentive, if you will, to finally start doing something about my health and embrace my health journey, which took about a year to lose 100 pounds. And that was over 18 years ago, which I've been able to maintain my weight. So she was a big superhero to me. And so I'd love to hear, who are your superheroes? Now, this tip that I'm going to share with you today has nothing to do with going and buying something, doing something that you don't already have in front of you. In fact, you can be more like Wonder Woman today just by following one simple tip that I'm going to share with you. And I have a host of tips. This is just one of many. My presentation has 5 different tips to be more like Wonder Woman today without going and buying something or becoming someone different than you are today. We actually all have these inherent abilities and traits within ourselves, and it's really hard for us to embrace them just because of the usual noise in our life, right? The noise that we hear, not just from others, but we hear from ourselves. So the tip I'm going to share with you today is my favorite, and it's one I come across a lot with my health coaching clients, because it's one thing that kind of beats you down after so many years of dieting. So how can you be more like Wonder Woman? First of all, let's look at Wonder Woman and who she was and how she became the amazing person she is. She was raised by a single mother, basically on an island in the middle of nowhere that was hidden from the outside world, and she was raised in a society of warrior women. Having that kind of really closed kind of environment, you would believe that how can she be so confident in herself? So that's the tip I'm going to help you with today, is how to be more confident in yourself so you can believe in your own self-worth, just like Wonder Woman. So she was on this isolated island in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of warrior women, and she was the daughter of the queen. Naturally, you would assume that everyone loved her. She's probably the most popular lady on the island, but she was a bit of a rebel. She liked to go her own way. One of the things that drove Wonder Woman is her passion and her belief that her mission was to defeat the god of war. Talk about a mission to end all missions, right? Can any of us today defeat the god of war? Probably not. But she never questioned. There was maybe one brief moment in the movie when she questioned whether she had what it took, or whether even the god of war was a real thing, and whether it was her mission to do it. But throughout the entire course of the movie, her belief and passion in herself was, I am destined to beat the god of war. So it begs the question, when it comes to your own personal life, what is your strongest belief right now? And I'd love for you to share it. You don't have to. You can certainly take a piece of paper and write it down for yourself just to kind of reflect and see what it is. One of my greatest passions is to help women find body bliss. whatever that means to them. I don't determine what body bliss looks like. I have found my own version of it. I'm not the thinnest woman in the world. I'm not the most supermodel-like woman in the world. I'm not the fittest woman in the world, but I feel amazing in my own skin. I'm still 100 pounds down from when I was a kid. I am a very content mom raising 2 beautiful children, and I'm a wife to a beautiful man. So I'm blissful in my own life today. And my passion is to help other moms get to that place as well. That's my destiny, if you will. And I do that through speaking. I do that through health coaching. I do that through providing services to women who are completely overwhelmed. So that's my passion. That's my mission and my belief in myself. What is your passion and your belief in yourself? And if you're struggling with this, because it's hard, right? It's hard to figure out what is my main thing. Like, it doesn't have to be just one, but what is my overarching main thing in life? What do I believe about myself? And it doesn't have to be specifically about yourself. For example, I believe, and this is why I became a coach, a service-based coach. I don't sell any products. I believe that we can achieve anything we want to believe. We just have to try. Anything. We can literally achieve anything. I have read so many inspirational stories. I am a big bookworm, so I read a lot of things. But I believe in the coaching industry. I believe in bringing out the best of everyone. I believe that there's nothing that a person cannot achieve if they can only embrace who they are as a person and what their mission is. So that's my short and sweet tip today. In order for you to be more like Wonder Woman, without becoming a beauty pageant queen winner, without becoming, Miss World or Miss Israel or any of that, without looking a certain way, you can be more like Wonder Woman by having an overarching belief and passion for what it is you're here to do and what you ultimately believe is possible. I shared with you what I believe is possible and what my mission is. If you feel comfortable sharing with us below this video, please do, because I'd love to see what some of your missions are. And if you need a little assistance with determining what is my overarching mission, I'll give you a few small tips and then an invitation. So if you're uncertain, maybe you don't know what your superpower is, right? Not all of us do. It's not immediately apparent that you have super strength, or it's really hard for us to reflect back on what we're really good at unless we hear it from others. So I'd like you to consider, what do people come to you for? What are people constantly asking you for advice about? What do people say, you're really good at this? Or they come to you because it's something that they're not good at and they recognize that you're good at it. That's a good indication of one of your superpowers, right? People won't come to you unless they feel that you have really mastered whatever it is. What is that for you? And I invite you to write it down, share it underneath this video. That's one clue, right? Success does leave clues in our life. So that's an area of success for you. If other people, whether they're friends, family, or even strangers, are coming to you as an expert in that area. Other things. What, at the end of the day, do you want to spend the majority of your day doing? And this can be difficult because I understand the struggle. Yes, you can be passionate about something, but you can be passionate about trading cards, but that doesn't mean you can earn a living at that. So there are certain things you might be passionate about that will not turn into a career, if you will, but can still be one of your superpowers and your belief in yourself. As I was reflecting over things that I did back in school, some of my favorite classes were art related, not necessarily art itself, but music and creative writing and spelling, which is not really art, but kind of craft projects. I love doing collages and craft projects. And it's interesting because I do not consider myself to be a creative individual, or at least I didn't used to in the past. I'm a speaker, which means I have to be creative about the programs I'm presenting, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a creative, right? Or at least that's the message I was telling myself. I'm not a creative person. Well, no, I am. I love doing collages. I love visual vision boards. I love to create the images that I use on social media. I love creating things. So art shows itself in many different ways. What is something you enjoyed doing as a child? Maybe you haven't done it in a while. Maybe it's something that you could literally forget time while you were doing it. Like you were sitting down, you were doing it, you forgot to eat, you forgot to look up. By the time you realize that the day has gone, you've spent hours doing it. Like when you lose time doing something, that's a good indication of something that you're very passionate about and ties into your superpowers. Another thing, so some people might not come to you for advice about a particular thing, but you might fulfill certain roles within your life. And this doesn't necessarily tie into superpower specifically, but it could be an indication of where your passions lie. So when you think about the role you fulfill in your various circles, like your family circle, your friends circle, your colleagues at work, your what other people get, your church group, your community group, when you think about where you fit into that circle, what position in the hierarchy did you find yourself doing most often? And sometimes this is by necessity, but often what we do is we're like, we float to the top, right? We float to where we're most needed, and that's where we fill in the gaps. And that may not because you love it, but it may be because you have superpowers in that. For example, I have a group of friends that I go out every month with, and we do something called the Breakfast Club because I'm passionate about breakfast and a healthy breakfast. And I'm passionate about meeting together with my friends. And we were reaching a point in our lives, in our personal lives, where we weren't meeting as often because there were new babies, there were new situations, we were in different stages of life. You know, that happens. But I was like, I like to organize. I like to facilitate people coming together. And that shows itself personally through my breakfast group. We meet every month. I facilitate it. I send out the emails. It doesn't take me a lot of work, but it's something I do enjoy doing. I also do that in a professional sense. I facilitate workshops in my house. I will invite people to come into my house and create something together. Again, we're tapping into that superpower of creativity. We're creating something together. So for us, it might be, build salads, even if you hate salads, or it might be healthy cookie making, especially for Christmas season. And that is coming up. So if you want more information about that, please let me know. These are low-cost workshops that I host in my home, very small and intimate gatherings. I love to have gatherings. I love to facilitate. I love to be, if you will, the leader of these gatherings because it's fun for me. It's not a huge crowd. I'm comfortable speaking to huge crowds, but I'm not comfortable facilitating a group discussion in a huge crowd. So I know that the intimate and the very close connected piece is what taps into my superpower. So when you think about the roles you fulfill in your communities or your circles, where do you find yourself most likely ending up? Are you the nurturer? Are you the behind the scenes person? Are you the organized, got everything together person? Are you the one who brings snacks or decorates really well? Often in our lives, we fulfill different roles. That can give you an idea of how to tap into your superpower. So I shared with you your overarching passion and belief in life is how you tap into your inner Wonder Woman. She knew what her mission was, and she pursued it with her passion. Ways you can show that to the outside world, or you can see where that is for you, where that lies for you, are things you like to do as a child. What did you like to do as a child? What do people come to you for? What are you an expert in and they come to you for advice? And finally, where do you find yourself most often landing in terms of roles in your community circles? These are 3 little signs to indicate what your superpowers are and how you can tap into your overall belief and overarching mission in life. This is Jen Espinosa-Goswami. Thank you for joining me live or on the replay. Make sure to pop your comments below this video. If you want to get details about my upcoming Healthy Holiday Cookie Baking Workshop in my house in Minneapolis, then please comment below here. And don't forget to share with me, what is your mission? What is your belief in yourself? It is there, and tap into that because you are wonderful, and I firmly believe that you can do anything you want to do. Thank you for joining me live today. Talk soon.